Okay. Um, I'll show you another online assessment website. It's called TestMoz, and it's a very nice website. It's actually a very simple website. It has a very peculiar way of handling um, your tests. And as you can see here, if I show you the pricing, you have a free tier, but you can only make one test per account. Okay, but there's a workaround. There's a very easy workaround. You have 50 questions per test, which is more than enough, and 100 results per test. If you need more than 100 results per test, there's another workaround. It's actually the same as the first workaround. I'll explain that later. But look, the payment is only $50 per year. And if you are a teacher, you're going to get a 50% discount, so 25. That works out to about 100 pesos per month, which I think, if you look at all the features that you can have as a paid subscriber, um, it's really worth it, I think. But if it's not worth it to you, you can use the free account. And here's how you do it. You always go here, right? You never log in because you are not a member, you're not paid. You just click on the build a test. So let's build a test, and you are going to be asked, hey, what is the test name here, right? So let's see. I've already made an account, but let's make it different. All right, and then the password. Let me enter that. Enter it again, and then click create the test. Now, there's one thing very important here. Do not forget your password, and don't forget your URL. Your URL is here, right? So I'm going to click this, and now we have an account in TestMoz. It's called, you see, it's my name. So use your name when you are making the test. And as you can see, my browser can remember my username and password. But I would suggest making a small note. So let's say this is TestMoz. I'm using the Notes app because I'm on a Mac, but you can also use maybe Notepad if you're on a PC. All right, so TestMoz, and then I can put in, say, oh, no, that's not the, let me just copy this. See, copy, and then paste. It's very important to remember this. There's no way to recover this if you forget. All right, and maybe you can put in, oh, what's the password, and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to show you my password, so let's just say that's the password, right? Now, I'm going to explain why this is important a little bit later. So right now, you're in the dashboard. Now, you can only make one quiz or exam for this, right? So you just have to follow all of this one by one. So first, you're going to adjust the settings. All right, so you can change the test name. So maybe you are a math teacher. You're going to give a math 2 test, right? And then you have an introduction here. So maybe you can put in welcome to math 2 midterms, whatever you want. And then you can choose the color scheme. Doesn't really matter. You can choose the blue and white maybe for Ateneo colors. And then let's see. Okay, question settings. Show all test questions on one page. Yep, uh, that's not what we want. We want to show one question per page, right? So do we allow the students to jump around? No. So only move forward. And then after each question is answered, yeah, don't show anything, right? You can change it if you want, but remember, don't give too much feedback. They can use it to cheat. So again, randomize the order of the questions during the test. And then once the test is completed, they can see something, like thank you for taking the test. There. You can choose to show custom message if the student passed or failed, but let's just skip that. And then at the end of the test, do we want to display any of this? I'm just going to blank it. You can change it. So access control. Well, let's just put anyone because it's a hassle to have passwords or all this. So just anyone. Anyway, you're going to just give the test to your student. And then we're going to say, okay, 20 minutes for that. You can change it. So maybe 90 minutes. So 1.5. How many times can you take it? 1. All right. And what should test takers enter to identify themselves? So you can say enter your name or whatever you want. And then browser functionality, we want to disable all of this because, again, possible sources of cheating. Notification. Yeah, you can have people be sent emails of the result, but we're going to say no for now. So now we're going to save. And now we're in the questions. And then we can insert many different kinds. Now, this is what I like about this. Once you click on the question type, you're already going to see the built question. All you have to do is replace. So, for example, what is your question for number 1? Just type it in, whatever. You can put in, if you're a math teacher, look. By the way, this is a paid option. And I think it's totally worth it. You even have a help page here. See, you are shown what are the notations that you have to put in, and see, if you put in this, you're going to see this, right? And if you need more, I think you're going to be shown the entire set of notations that you can use there. Oh my God, there's so much. Okay, but anyway, it's a paid thing. So if I click OK here, see, it's going to ask you to pay. Again, my opinion, it's totally worth it, right? So you can say, oh, choice number 3 is the correct answer. It's worth 1 point. You can choose to have explanation, but again, that's a paid option. And then insert again. So let's say true or false, and then again, it's already formatted. You can just put in the statement and then say, oh, it's a false a statement. Again, points. Let's insert another one. Let's say matching. Again, you already have a set matching here. You can just change it, all this. And then you can give partial credit. So maybe this is worth 4 points. And for every match, they will get 1 point. Right? And then you can just keep adding. Again, all the way up to 50 items. All right? See, there. And maybe another one. Let's say essay. Right? You can just have the question here. And then this is where the student will put in their answer. Okay. Now, by the way, you don't have to save, so because if you save this, see, don't worry about saving. This page is auto-save. So as long as you're typing, it's going to be auto-saved. So let's say the power cuts out. You can recover the questions that you were able to put in because it's being auto-saved. No need to keep on saving. Now let's go to publish. we now have a 5-item exam. So you can preview your test. This is what the students will see, right? They have to log in with their information, and then they're going to see this is the introduction. They click continue, they can answer. So, all right, see, it has, you can't just keep on going forward. So let's answer this, whatever, and then submit. So this is the essay portion, just answer, true or false. There you go. Multiple choice. Okay, see, now we are finished. So we can log out. Now, first you have to publish, right? We just previewed it. So you have to publish it. So you can pick an interval, but this is a paid service. So you can just manually open or close. So let's say open it, right? So now this is the address of the test. Notice it's the same as your account because it's linked. One test is to one account, right? We've already taken note of that. See, it's in here. Now, if I want to make another test, one way you can do it is you can make another account, but that's really superfluous. All you have to do is go back to your dashboard and see. Look at this. Look at the clone. Create a duplicate copy of this test, right? So we have a Math 2 test. Maybe you want to make a Math 4. Well, I don't know the names of the subjects, but a different math. So if you make a clone, you're going to click this. Okay, it says it's alive. Now you have to remember this. This is now your second account, basically, right? Kind of like your second. I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to put it in here. Maybe I can even put in Math 4 exam, right? Because if I click on this, now you have, look, it's no longer Math 2, but it's a clone of Math 2. So if you look at the questions, it's still the same questions, but because it's a different test, then you can just change. Maybe this is the correct answer now, change the choice, all that. You can just change this. So now this is different. This is now a different test, right? And then if you notice, it's not yet published. So again, you can publish this now. By the way, you can also choose to print the exam again after the COVID-19 pandemic is over. Maybe we can do this now. You can download it as a Word document, or you can just print it on your browser as a PDF file. That I wish I knew about this when I was still teaching in Ateneo. That would really help a lot. But anyway, so now you have two exams. You just have to, for example, you want to give the exam, you just copy the link and then give it to your students. So if I paste this here, see, it's going to prompt the student to enter his name. Now, by the way, this tab here, administration, this is just your login for your account. Every time you go to your account from, let's say you close your browser and you went back, my browser is remembering my password, but if you are using a public computer, you may not want to do that. So this will help, right? We put in the password, you just copy it, and then paste it on here. Then you can access your account again. So let's pretend that we are a student. Let's enter our name, start. Now we can answer the questions. So there, there, da, 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 da. Submit, and then blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm done as a student. Let's close that. Then you can see the results, right? The results are actually very comprehensive. If you had 50 items, you can see all the 50 items, okay? Whether the student got it right or partially right or wrong, okay? Now, this one, it's not yet finished, right? Because it's a essay point, so you have to manually grade it. So let's say, oh, this is what 1 point there. And then if you save it, then it's now upgraded. The score is upgraded. This is another great part of this program. And there are many ways that you can use the results page. You can export to CSV. Again, if you want to just copy all the points of the students and you don't have to manually put it into your grading sheet, you can do that, right? It's a great one. Now, if I want to make a third exam, what do you think I have to do? Ooh, it's a clone again. If I clone this, see, clone, it will generate a third link. Again, remember that. Copy it. So maybe this is for statistics 101. So now we can do that again. Go there. Now it's a clone of Math 2. It's a clone of a clone. And then again, you can change the settings. You can change the questions. Go back again and then publish it there. And then send this link to the students, and then they can take it. All right. So if you have more than 100 students, right? You need to have identical exams. Then you don't have to change, right? So maybe let's make another clone. Maybe you have more than 100 students in statistics 101. Let's clone it. That's all you have to do. Clone. Remember the address again. We don't want to lose that. So copy it. By the way, if you're using a PC, you may want to use a cloud service like Dropbox or OneDrive or even Google Drive so that you can access this note anywhere you are or any computer that you are using. So if you click here, so we have the the duplicate of statistics. So we can say, oh, this is statistics 101, another copy, or you can just say copy. So that maybe you can say, I'm going to send this link to half of my class, and then this link to half of, the other half. So 60-60 instead of all 120 trying to answer it. Because what happens is if 120 students answer it, you can only see the first 100 results. What happens to the 20? It's still being recorded, but you have to pay to see the extra 20. So just remember that, right? If you forget, some of your students might have no results because you can't see it. Okay. So this is TestMoz. It has a very uh, simple way of um, making the exams, and I think it's very cheap. I'm sure you can afford it. I mean, 100 pesos a month. Just don't buy a cup of coffee every month, just once in a month. Skip that. And if you're buying in Starbucks, you don't even have to skip once a month, maybe once every 2 months, because wow, those are very expensive coffees. All right, so that's TestMoz. Actually, if I have to choose between the three I've already shown you, um, all things being equal, I'm going to choose this one. Now, the other two websites have their own advantages. You can just create multiple exams in just one dashboard. But here you have to make sure to remember this, because let's say we sign out and our browser is not able to remember it. You can't really go back to that account that you made, because they're not going to give you anything. So there, if I go back to TestMoz, I have to build a test again, because it's a free. And oh, sorry, I don't have to do that. All I have to do is just remember this. So maybe copy this, all right, and then paste it here. And when I enter it, now it's going to ask for my name as a student. I'm not a student. I'm going to go to the administrator. So again, assuming that you did not remember the password from the browser, you can just remember the password here, copy it, and then paste it there. So we can log in again. There. See, we have the clone of clone math 2. So if we check, this is the statistics 101. And this is how you adjust to the peculiar situation here. One account, one exam. All right, that's it. I think this should be enough. You should have enough ideas about what to do in online assessment. Thank you.